I'm 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist James Gregorio, and we got a lot to get to during the show today, and it's raining now, so you guessed it, we're going to start with the radar. So let's jump right into it, and we've got some rain coming down now over Tampa Bay. We have some rain in and around not only the Tampa area, but also in through portions of St. Pete, over the Howard Franklin, and literally like right over the bay. You know, over Feather Sound, we have a few showers, 275, West Kennedy getting into the act as well. Latest scan here, you can see that, and that rain is pretty much moving off towards the kind of the north and east a little bit. So that rain continues to come down and coming down at a decent clip here. Looking out the window, it's the first show I've actually been able to do here at 10 Tampa Bay where I can actually look out the window and say, hey, it's raining. You know, again, kind of light and moderate rain, not a huge issue just yet, but that will likely change as the day progresses. We expand that view and bring it out a little wider. That rain train continuing as we speak here, and, you know, kind of going back even further. Some isolated heavier downpours there as well, and you could see that scenario with some of those heavier showers, which are basically moving, you know, right in towards St. Pete, right in towards St. Pete Beach, Indian Rocks, Paso Grill, getting into the act, maybe as far south as Fort DeSoto. It looks like getting clipped with a couple showers there as well. All right, so we are under a weather impact alert. I kind of buried the lead. Sorry about that. So the weather impact alert in place throughout the day today, and it's going to be up, especially needed for later this afternoon, in towards this evening, and in towards tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow morning is kind of an interesting scenario. I think the rain is absolutely on schedule, absolutely what we thought, if not a little bit ahead of schedule. So what does that mean? I think we might wrap up a little sooner. So we're going to leave the weather impact alert up and in place through tonight and into the overnight hours. Meteorologist Colleen Campbell will be in this afternoon, and she can adjust and decide if that needs to come down for tomorrow morning, or we'll leave it up for tomorrow morning. So we'll kind of play that one by ear, depending on the timing of the front and how much rain and how much of a nuisance and or impactful that weather may be tomorrow morning as well. So regardless, give yourself extra time today. It's not really the day to be zipping around. Great day to stay home and stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus, and of course, just kind of hang out. And of course, the Bucks will be rolling at about 1 o'clock as well at Ray J. That brings up a different set of issues if you're going to the game. We'll get to that coming up. All right, back outside we go, and although the rain is coming down in St. Pete, not bad. It's like 70 degrees, pretty comfortable outside. Doesn't feel oppressively humid. Tampa at 72, Clearwater's in the upper 60s at the hour as well. It doesn't look bad either. So the winds are pretty light. Obviously not really a boating day, not the day you want to set out. We have no small craft advisory, but it's just not a nice day. So, you know, if you're a hardcore fisherman and you want to go fish, you don't mind if you get rained on. That is certainly your prerogative. All right, so as we head in towards, I'm going to stop this for a second, and I'm going to back this up because we got a lot to unpack on the Futurecast. So let me zip back here a little bit. All right, here's the story. 2:30, you could start to see some of that rain getting a little bit more active. Up around Crystal River and up around the Nature Coast as well, and we'll see if we can bring that down a little further southward. So, you know, by 2:30, 3 o'clock, there we go. And that's 7 o'clock. I really kind of went fast forward. All right. So bear with me for 2 seconds and we'll bring it back. That's 1 o'clock. There it is. That's like 3 o'clock. Okay. All right. So 3 o'clock. You know, we've got some front runners moving into St. Pete, into Bradenton, this little band of rain in through, you know, getting closer to Sarasota, but it's really the activity further to the north, up towards Crystal River and the Nature Coast, Citrus County, Hernando County as well. And then as we move from 3 o'clock to 3:30, watching that line, looks like Tampa, I mean, if you want to buy into this particular model, lock, stock, and barrel, and again, we look at a lot of different things. And we're looking really for trends. We're looking for a solution that is most likely, but we're not going to take everything 100% at face value. But this is certainly a run. This is certainly a depiction that has, you know, kind of verified it, you know, on a few different runs. So the likelihood of this is actually pretty good. So Tampa, St. Pete, you know, right around 340 or so, there is that band of some heavier rains, which you can see there, and kind of moving further ashore. That's 3:30. Let's bring it in towards 4:30, moving towards Lakeland, sneaking up the I-4 corridor, certainly, getting into Polk County. But further to the north, you see the line of showers and storms trying to drop further southward as well at 4:30. You got a south wind at 10, 77 degrees. It's 4:30. And then as we move in towards 5 o'clock, pretty decent coverage. I mean, there are pockets of, heavier downpours from Crystal River all the way in towards Lakeland. At that time, though, what you don't see is a lot of rain in the Bay Area. But you head off to the east, jumping on I-4, let's say, or you head further north, up 75, let's say, you've got showers and maybe some storms as well. That is a really good area of coverage at 5 o'clock. As we move in towards 6 and 7 o'clock, the front kind of coalesces a little bit. And that is, that's probably full-on go time, really. I think if I were to pinpoint that window, and I kind of called that window from 3:30 up until about 7:30, if I were to break that down even more, I would say the worst of the weather is probably 5 to 7 is the absolute worst of it here with showers and storms. Now, it may not be the absolute worst for everybody, as this is a line. This is not, the northern and central half of Florida blanketed at once. Not everyone is going to see driving rains for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or maybe an isolated boomer, but we're trying to dial it as much as we can to let you know who's going to see what and when. 8 o'clock, 8:30, you see that line of showers and storms really extending from the East Coast, kind of trailing through Tampa, St. Pete, Paso Grill, into Indian Rocks as well. And then by 10 o'clock, that main line, the primary line with the front, the showers and storms, basically moving off to the east, clearing Polk County and moving in towards the eastern coast of Florida. By 11 o'clock or so, you can see that scenario. Midnight, the heaviest stuff is out of here, and we're left just with some scattered showers perhaps left over, 3, 4 a.m., 4:30. Fair bit of cloudiness. Still going to be wet tomorrow, and depending on where it rained and how hard it rained, you may have some pretty decent puddles and a little ponding left over in the roadway. So you got to be careful tomorrow morning. I don't think we get much rain tomorrow morning, 4, 5, 6 a.m. It's still there. I'm not going to rule out a brief heavy downpour, perhaps. I don't think we see a storm. That energy kind of is pretty much tapped out in the atmosphere at that point. So temperatures at the hour, I think we're faring pretty well. We've got numbers in the low 70s, right around 70. Very uniform here from West Chase to Thonosasasa, which I totally butchered, but I'll get it eventually. Ruskin at 70, Sun City at 70. Bartow, thank you for that correction, Noah. Arcadia at 71, Sarasota at about 76. All right, so over the next 12 hours, we're going to see these temperatures climb to near 80 degrees over the next few hours. Actually, not even going to take 12 hours, over the next 2 or 3 hours. 2 o'clock, we're at 79. At 4 o'clock, we're at 78, but look what pops up into the fray. Showers and storms, and from 4 until 8 o'clock is probably our better storm threat, and I think within that window, it's really kind of 5 to 7, if we were to collapse it a little bit more. So that's really our primary shower and storm threat within that window. Now, it is a cold front, which is the catalyst for all of this. So that frontal boundary will continue to move on through. In fact, there's the front. So as the front is sagging south out ahead of the front, we have that shower and storm potential, which will continue to drive further south. So areas like Citrus County in towards portions of the Nature Coast, further southward in towards Hernando, Pasco, you're going to see those showers and storms first as the frontal boundary continues to push a little further to the south. And then as we head in towards, early evening, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it's going to be Hillsborough and Pinellas and in towards Sarasota County and Lakewood Ranch and Manatee County. And then over the next day or so, the cooler and drier air starts to fill in behind the front. And then we have a couple really nice days, Tuesday, Wednesday, especially Wednesday and Thursday, fantastic days. Tuesday's a little bit in transition, but for the most part, I think we shape up really, really well, which is fantastic. So we pay the price. However, we need the rain. These are not drought busting rains, but these are drought-denting rains. In fact, we're going to take a look at how much precip we're thinking about here. A solid ½ inch to an inch to maybe an inch and a half or so. I think if I were to kind of put a range on it, a more apropos kind of standardized range for much of our area, ½ inch to an inch and a half, more than likely, in spots. So if we get a really good soaking, an inch, and that would be, if we got an inch or more, it would be more rain in this one event than we picked up in the last 3 months. So August was great for us. September, we had 0.7 of an inch. October was pitiful. November was pitiful. I think October we had something like 0.36, something like that off the top of my head. So we would have more in this event than the last 3 months combined. Stay with us. We're going to be back with more. We'll talk more about it coming up, and we'll talk about those gorgeous days on the backside of the frontal boundary passage. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. Unique quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
I was driving when a Ford pickup truck barreled into me from behind, sending me to the hospital.
I knew my husband was going to need an excellent attorney, so I called Dan Newland.
I'm so glad my wife called Dan. Dan really fought for me. He won my case and got me $650,000.
If you've been involved in a car accident, allow me to fight for you. Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan, for winning my husband's case.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We are under a weather impact alert. I am Tampa Bay meteorologist James Gregorio, and you are watching Weather Impact Live. It is our daily show where we talk about all things weather, of course. And usually during the week, we roll in some more sound and some more stories from elsewhere across the United States. On the weekend, we tend to keep it a little bit simpler and, of course, just focusing on generally what's happening here in Florida and within the United States. So speaking of which, we've got drought conditions which continue to permeate and unfortunately have gotten worse. This is called the Drought Monitor. This is a product from NOAA. It updates every Thursday, and notice that we have a smattering of severe drought in through the Tampa Bay area. So this rusty color here, the darker brownish color, is severe drought. So my hope is with these rains, we get every bit of an inch or inch and a half, so we could start chipping away at that and bring us back to moderate drought. And eventually maybe just the yellow color, abnormally dry conditions, before getting back fully to no drought concerns or no excessive dryness across the area. But yeah, so our drought condition unfortunately has gotten a little worse. I'm going to expand that view, and they've been getting plenty of rain so far here this morning. Further north in Panama City, you can see they have a pocket of exceptional drought surrounded by extreme drought further to the north. So, it's been great news for our friends a little further to the north as well. So we're going to take a look here I'm going to just move this around a little bit. We'll go further to the north. And this is the rain that's been moving through there, in through, kind of south of Panama City, up towards Valdosta, Georgia, Jacksonville getting into the act. So that little slice there right around Perry, I believe that may have still been in that pocket of exceptional drought. If not, it's extreme regardless. So good pocket of the state getting much needed rains. We have our rains continuing to come down here. A little break right now over portions of Tampa and in through sections of Brandon as well, getting some rain over the Selman as we speak as well. So please be careful if you're driving here. You can see that little pocket of rain as well. And then there's more over Pinellas Park, over portions of Indian Rocks, a little further to the south as well as we move into St. Pete Beach. We've got some showers coming down Tierra Verde. You've got some rain. And as we continue to kind of fine-tune a little bit heavier rain as we head from Tierra Verde, perhaps in towards Fort DeSoto as well. You get a few heavier downpours there so far. So again, if you're going to be out, make sure you grab the umbrella, make sure you grab the jacket, make sure you slow your roll. And again, we haven't had much rain over the last 3 months. So we're still dealing with not only drought conditions, but probably a lot of oils and things that have accumulated and built up on the roadways, which could create some problems and some issues. All right, thinking about going to the Bucks game today, you're probably there, or maybe you have a loved one that is there. So temperatures, we're mild in the upper 70s and near 80. That's a great thing. However, we've got those rain shower chances continuing here. And again, those chances are pretty elevated as we move towards 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, shower and storm chances. So please be careful and mindful of this. And I do think I would put that halftime chance a little higher than 20%. So I think that should, we'll bump that up a little bit here. So just keep that in mind as we make our way out. Now, 5-day rain expected. You're expecting rain over the next few days. Pretty substantial, about a 20% chance in towards Monday. And then as we move in towards Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're looking much, much better, which is certainly good news as well. So no huge issues in that regard. Nothing we didn't really know going in towards Monday morning here. So decent shot of rain going in through today and into tonight. Let's bring you back outside, and we're going to take a live look around. Take a look at that Clearwater cam. You could see that it's definitely a little misty there as well. St. Pete at the Trop looks okay. Armature Works looked better earlier. Unfortunately, not looking great now, but that's kind of the scenario. That's kind of, the game that we're going to play all day long here. So, game on, game off, showers, splash and dash. Some of those will be heavy at times. So you got to use caution and certainly be mindful and be weather aware as well. All right, elsewhere across the United States, we're going to expand that view. There's a lot of cold air out there. Minot, North Dakota's -2 currently. These are current temperatures. These aren't wind chills. International Falls, -10. So that cold air will continue to seep a little further southward here. So we have a big swath of teens, not so much teens, but 20s and 30s, I should say, out there. And again, for the second day in a row, the warmest air and the warmest temperatures in the lower 48 are in Florida. Key West, Miami, even Tampa is warmer than everything else on this map currently. So the warmest air over the Florida Peninsula, whereas even Brownsville, San Antonio, Houston, and Texas, they've got temperatures in the 60s. Certainly not cold there, not even cool, but not as warm as we are. So we're on the warmer side of things. But you head further northward, Boston's about 40, New York's close to 40 here, and again, that's kind of milder. Wilmington, North Carolina, is at 41 degrees. So not a great, that's cold for December for them. Atlanta at about 39. So not exactly a walk in the park in Atlanta either. So a little bit on the chilly side in through Atlanta as well. All right, let's run you through the weather impact alert here once again today. Rain and storms, pretty good possibility here as we head in towards the afternoon hours, into tonight, into early tomorrow morning. We may see a little fog develop tomorrow morning, all depending on how long some of those showers may or may not linger for. And I think it's more may not on the showers. So the chances of fog are actually growing a little bit. I think there'll be enough moisture around. The winds will be relatively light. That's the outlier. So the winds may be mixed up enough, stirred up enough to not have any fog this morning, especially with that northerly wind. That's a cooler and drier wind direction as well. All right, so we're going to talk more about some cold air, which is heading our way, and some cooler temperatures. And of course, that 7-day forecast coming up. We're going to take another short break. We'll be back with much more. Stay with us.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
I was driving when an 18-wheeler turned in front of me. I locked up my brakes, bam, slid dead into the truck. Bloody and hurt, I was loaded into an ambulance, and that's when I put out my phone and called attorney Dan Newton. Dan jumped right on it. He was in my corner the whole way. He fought the fight from beginning to end and got me $1 million.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Dan, your awesome team deserves 6 stars. Thank you for winning my case.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Familiarize yourself with where your water shutoff valve is located. If backflow prevention devices are installed, get them tested annually.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40-TODAY.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy.
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30, right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
Welcome back, everyone. I am 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist James Gregorio, and you're watching Weather Impact Live, where we do have a weather impact alert in place here for your Sunday and into Monday morning as well. So once again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying with me here. Time now 11:22. So we've got a few more minutes left on the stream, and let's touch on the cold air and those colder temperatures, which will try and move in our direction. You can see these are the temperatures here, sort of in the lower to mid levels of the atmosphere, and wow, you got a lot of cold air trying to spill out. You see the purple coloring moving from Winnipeg to Minneapolis, in towards Chicago, in towards Washington, D.C. That cold air will continue to sort of spill in our direction, and in doing so, that cold air will work its way further southward and moving in towards D.C., moving a little further to the north as well, moving further to the south, I should say. So that cold boundary of air will just continue to permeate a little further to the south. So I'm just going to kind of draw a little bit here. There we go, kind of diving down in this direction. So as we take you on into Monday morning and then in towards Tuesday, the cold retreats just a little bit. Notice it kind of pushes back. But watch what happens. We get another lobe in here to sort of rotate around that polar vortex, continuing to. This is Friday. So this is another shot of cold. Look at that. Look at it. Let me back this up for a second. That kind of zips a little further southward here in towards Florida, and big ridge of high pressure here. So we've got an area of high pressure out to the west, forcing the jet stream further to the north. And that's allowing these lobes of cold air to kind of spill and move further to the south and kind of break away. And in doing so, that's allowing really all those cold temperatures and cold air to really kind of spill a little further southward. So there it is. Let me see here. This is Monday the 15th. So you get some of that colder air continuing to move southward. The real Arctic air, though, thankfully, Monday the 15th, 16th is still locked up in Canada, but we're seeing a really active pattern. Look at that big ridge in the west. So that big ridge here, let me get back to my pen. There it is. This is that big ridge in the west. And look at the trough in the east. Like this thing, I mean, this is, if there was enough moisture in place, this is a massive snowstorm solution setting up for the Northeast and maybe for New England. Maybe it's a little far east for the New York City metro, but you spin out a phased up storm here in the gulf of that trough, and you could spin a beast further northward of a snowstorm. Big, gnarly, nasty nor'easter could certainly, you get some phasing with the jet. So look at that time frame, December 17th. Right now, not a whole lot on the models, but if that setup holds up, all you need is a blocking high to the north up here in Newfoundland, and you might have a really good blockbuster snowstorm setup, potentially. I'm not saying there is, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's interesting to see that on the maps here. Now, conversely, you have some great weather and warm, mild weather out to the west. So you got mild temperatures all the way in this area. So Denver on the milder side, and that milder air runs all the way up to Montana, all the way up into South Dakota as well, right under this ridge. And then you have that colder air, which is going to try and spill a little further southward as well. All right, so let me jump into that 7-day forecast here because I don't want to shortchange you. And taking a look at the 7-day, here's the story. And all right, so today, shower and storm chances